Good evening and welcome into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester as Manchester Basketball take on the Oaklands Wolves in the last game of the year in the Super League so far. Caroline Bullock here alongside Manchester's very own Hannah Alty as we get ready to tip off in around 7 minutes time. So Hannah, all anybody wants for Christmas is a win in the Super League today, isn't it?
It really is, Kaz. I mean, that was top of my Christmas list.
So Manchester coming into this game, 1 win and 4 losses, sitting in 8th place. They last played London last weekend, had an overtime loss, 75-72. And it was Franny Hottinger who led the way with her 3rd double-double of the season, 20 points and 11 rebounds. And Tiara East adding in 22 points and 6 rebounds. So a tough loss after a long road trip there, but Manchester will certainly be looking to bounce back.
Yeah, they are. I mean, you know, I was speaking to Hannah Shaw before the game and she was saying that, you know, there's that feeling there where they're wanting to come back now from that loss. You know, an overtime loss is such an anticlimax thing because you're building it up in the game and you're kind of putting your all on the court, and then to lose it in those last few moments. But yeah, no, Hannah Shaw was saying, you know, just before the game that the practice has been a lot more steady. They've had a good few weeks of practice and they're really raring to go today.
And so leading the team this season, it's been Franny Hottinger, the team's leading scorer, 18.8 points per game, 8th in the Super League, and 8.8 rebounds, which is good for 5th place. Now, we've talked about Franny Hottinger a lot. She's absolutely fantastic. In her first season for Manchester Basketball, she's been a real leader on the court for this team, despite, you know, being very early on in her career.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I love about watching her play is the way she moves across the court as well. I mean, you wouldn't think that this was her first season at Manchester at all. The way she's able to kind of, you know, create space for her own teammates and also, you know, has that synchronicity with her other teammates to get those passes inside and really move well off the ball. So yeah, she flows beautifully with this team.
And someone as well that I feel like, even though she's scoring a lot, might be going slightly under the radar, but Tiara East has really done a bit of everything for Manchester as well. So she's been averaging just over 14 points a game, 5.4 rebounds and 3.4 assists, and she's been able to draw 4.6 fouls a game. She's able to finish through contact, and she's been a really strong presence for the team.
Yeah, she has. She's been so aggressive, and that's, when you were just speaking then, that's the one word that just kept coming up in my head was aggressive. She's aggressive on offense. She'll drive to basket, like you say, take that contact. But then again on defense as well, she's the one player that's really setting the tempo of that intense defense straight from the offset.
So Manchester coming into this game averaging 82 points per game. That's 4th in the Super League. Oakland's averaging 75.8. And we know that Manchester are a team that like to score the basketball. They've been putting a lot of points on the board, but maybe it hasn't come as much on the defensive end. Do you think that's something that we might see a bit of a turnaround today?
Yeah, I think so. I think for Manchester, realistically, their defense is the driving force behind their offense, and they like to really push the ball. And I think for them, if they're not doing that on defense and they're not getting those stops, that's then lacking on their transition scores. So I think for them today is really stepping up with that defense and making sure that, you know, communication's there as well. There does seem to be a bit of a lack of communication just on that defensive end. But again, you know, we are halfway through the season. We have to remember that. And I think, you know, coaches will still be making adjustments and there'll be bench impact as well. So I think, yeah, this will be a good game. You know, it's the last game of the season. And I think for them, it's a good roundup to see kind of how connected they are at this halfway point and what they're going to go through to with the new year.
Absolutely. And for the Oaklands Wolves, so 3 wins and 2 losses, that's 6th place for them. They last played at the Cardiff Met Archers and had a 70-66 win. They were led by Teresa Da Silva, a new signing for the Wolves, 19 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists with 4 made 3-pointers, and then Danny McRae adding in 13 points and 3 rebounds. So Oakland's have really been able to kind of keep that core of last year's team together, Hannah. They were a team that made it to all 3 finals, won the league title, won the cup final. So consistency is really the key here for this team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they are a really strong foundational team in this league, and I think they're one of the ones to watch. they were so dangerous last season, they were so successful that I think they're just going to want to continue to build on that. And, you know, like you said, in that last Cardiff game, De Silva had 66% from the three-point line, and I think that's something Manchester are going to have to be really wary of, making sure that they're closing out and making sure she's stopping the shot. But, you know, and she's a tough player as well. And I really like Brookshire as well. You know, she's tough on both offensive and defensive side, going after boards, making sure she's getting those rebounds. So yeah, Manchester have got a tough game today.
They have, and for Oaklands as well, so Danny McRae returning from last season, and also Shanice Beckford-Norton. Now, for anybody that doesn't know the name Shanice Beckford-Norton, where have you been?
I know what you're doing.
She's been everywhere. But Shanice, in her second season with the Oaklands Wolves, an absolutely incredibly experienced player, captain of the team. She was part of that London Lions team for 4 seasons, where and part of the team that won the Euro Cup in a historic fashion in 2024. How does having someone like that come into this Oaklands program, how does that help you?
I mean, she sets the standard, really, doesn't she? And I think she's such a great leader as well. You know, I just watched her in the warm-up then. You know, she's really making sure that everybody's, you know, kind of getting themselves sorted and getting themselves organised, and also focusing on the game ahead. So I think to have somebody like that on your team, like I said, just sets that standard and sets that precedent for you as a player, and really make sure that you've got that great leadership amongst the team.
And Beckford-Norton, someone that has won at so many levels, and she is in fact the winningest player in the WBBL and SLB era.
Winningest player?
Winningest player. So when Oaklands won the league titles last season, that took her to 15 titles and trophies.
Oh.
And she passed Holly Winterburn with 14.
I wasn't questioning the stats, I was just questioning the word.
It's such a hard thing to describe.
Yeah, I know what you mean, though. I know, I get you.
She just wins a lot.
She just wins a lot. That's the best way just to say it.
We should just say she's just been Shanice.
Shall I get you a thesaurus for Christmas?
Please do. So if we take a look at the starting fives for both teams, for Manchester Basketball, it will be Irina Boado, Maya Bracker, Franny Hottinger, Vera Peartonin, and Tiara East. And for the Oaklands Wolves, it will be Shanice Beckford-Norton, Lavinia De Silva, Beth Sarson, Danny McRae, and Lucilla Finau. And Lucilla Finau, Hannah, she's one of the players I've been really excited to see this season in person, because she is a shifty, crafty, speedy point guard. She's going to be really, really fun to watch.
Oh, I'm excited.
And a new signing for Oaklands this season, so seeing her out on the floor in person. I mean, we've seen the stat lines,
yeah,
but it's always exciting.
Oh, it is. It's so much better to see it in person.
So teams getting ready to come out on court. It will be Manchester wearing black today and the Oaklands Wolves in white. So the final game of 2025 in Women's Super League. Teams will be back in action on the 3rd of January after the Christmas break, and it will be the Sheffield Castles and London Lions on the 3rd of January facing off against each other. And Oakland's also back in action on the 3rd of January. Manchester get a little break.
Yeah, we get a day off.
So for the tip, it will be Bracker for Manchester and De Silva for the Wolves. Ball's up. And it will be first possession goes to Oakland. Beckford-Norton into De Silva. Hands off to Finau. Finau going baseline, kicks it out. As Beckford-Norton keeps it inside, and Finau can't get the 3 to fall.
That was some great ball straight off the bat for Oakland.
They like to pass the ball very quickly and get everyone involved. Aboado against Sarson. Swings it round to Bracker. Bracker going to the basket, and it's intercepted by McRae. And you see there just how quick Beckford-Norton gets out to the ball as De Silva gets the roll on the 3, and that'll get Oaklands on the scoreboard. Beckford-Norton, they're just as quick on offense as she is on defense, as you see her guarding East.
So speedy.
Aboado goes to the basket, it spins out.
I think that angle was just a bit too hard for her.
As Beckford Norton catch and shoot, splashes it in from outside. And that's back-to-back three-pointers for the Wolves, a 6-0 lead here. East looks to answer off the rim, and Bracker gets the rebound. And another chance there for Manchester, doing a good job on the offensive boards, as Bracker nails it from outside. And we've seen Maya Bracker do this all season long. She's a really strong shooter from outside, as well as being such a presence inside.
Yeah, that's a tough foul there.
So that's the first against Manchester. So a 6-3 lead for Oaklands here. Just under 2 minutes play. Beckford Norton draws the foul against the Boado. So it will be Wolves ball from the sideline. So 2 quick fouls there for Manchester.
Yeah, they need to watch that straight off the bat as well.
Finau against Bracker. Beckford Norton. Beckford Norton, what a pass inside to De Silva, as Finau has space, goes and draws the foul, so Finau will go to the line. And Hannah, I don't want to sound like a broken record about this all season, but it's that left-hand lane that Manchester really seem to struggle with, closing down sometimes.
Do you know what? I think at this point you just need to write it down on a piece of paper and pass it over to the bench. Because you're not wrong. You're really not wrong.
So Lucilla Finau at the foul line here, playing in her first season for Oaklands. Was playing out in Australia this summer for the Joondalup Wolves, so she's kept that connection going. She likes to play for teams with Wolves in the name, where she averaged just over 13 points a game and 5.3 rebounds. She gets the second. So a 4-point Oaklands lead. Aboado. East. Over to Bracker. Bracker thought about it. Takes it inside instead. As Beckford Norton with pace kicks it out, and De Silva time to line it up and knock it down. And Oakland's there on fire from behind the three-point line. A hot start for the Wolves. 7-point Oakland's lead. East into Bracker. And that'll be the first foul against De Silva and the Wolves. So 3 made threes for Oakland so far in the first 2 minutes, 40 seconds. As the ball's into Hottinger. Hottinger out to Aboado, gets it to go! De Silva, and the foul goes against Bracker.
She's a really tough player to mark, De Silva, because you know, you give her the space, she'll shoot it, but like that, she'll take that contact and drive to basket, no problem. I'm really interested to see how they're going to match up against her and how Manchester are going to mark her.
And she's quite quick as well, isn't she?
Yeah, she's got a quick first step as well.
So Georgia Anderson checking into the game for Manchester, as De Silva is at the line here. And we'll get the first. De Silva in her second season for Oaklands. Averaged 8.9 points a game and 4.6 rebounds last season. Also spent time in the WBBL with the Seven Oaks Suns, so a very experienced player playing here, as Finau gets the rebound, and another chance here for Oaklands. Sarson to De Silva. Pass is too strong, but you could see where that was going to go.
You could, yeah. But to be fair, that was good recovery defence there from Manchester. I think they were quick on that and really able to make sure they covered all bases.
Manchester down 5 in the first quarter. Anderson to Aboado. Aboado going all the way to the basket, gets the whistle. And Irene Obodo going to go to the foul line here for Manchester. And Obodo making the move up from the Division 1 Manchester Mystics last season, where she played a couple of years. She's had a really strong start to the season so far, hasn't she?
She has, yeah. I mean, especially, you know, having coached her and played with her, you kind of, you wonder how, you know, especially coming out on starting, she's been starting 5 as well, and you kind of wonder what's going on and kind of, you know, worry about whether she's ready for it, but she has blown the waters open. Like,
she really has.
She just looks so comfortable.
Out to the corner, Beckford Norton threes up, spins out and then in again. Look at the smile on Shanice Beckford Norton's face. She's a player that has fun when she's out on the court.
She really does, yeah.
She leads back up to 7, and an offensive foul is going to go against Manchester.
55 to our east.
That goes against East. And we'll have a substitution.
The Wolves will make 2 substitutions. As the Silver.
I mean, Manchester have got 5 players now on their first foul, 4 minutes into the game.
Certainly something to watch as Teresa Da Silva, no relation to Lavinia Da Silva, comes into the game. And Beckford Norton to Finau. Da Silva. Beckford Norton, too much on that one, and the ball's tipped. And it will be Manchester possession. And we see Devon Brookshire as well out onto the court for Oaklands for the first time.
As we go on, Manchester.
East, round to Hottinger. Hottinger looking to go inside, fouls on the floor, so Manchester will take it from the side. And that'll be the 3rd team foul on Oaklands.
Oakland's 13th foul.
So Anderson looks to get the ball in. Bracker under the basket, gets her own rebound and finishes.
On a 2-point lead. As we record defense.
5-point game. Brookshire passing underneath the basket. Silva can't finish. Anderson will get it over the halfway line. And Georgia Anderson, in her last time out on the floor here in Manchester, became the all-time leading scorer in the Top Flight League as Hottinger spins away to the basket. What a move there.
That was so confident, so smooth as well.
As ball goes out of bounds for the Wolves, and that's why Franny Hottinger is so effective when she's out on the court, isn't it? That playing beyond her years.
Yeah, it's just so what's the word? Able to read the defense so well.
Because and she'll be able to go, oh, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and sometimes that takes a long time to learn, doesn't it? As well, especially at higher levels. So a 3-point game, just a single possession game as Peartonin looks to find some space. Pass will go out of bounds as Oaklands get it back. Finau into Brookshire. Brookshire stops it short. As the ball goes out of play. So Manchester with a chance to tie on this possession. It's over 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Manchester looking for their 2nd win of the season in the Super League. As Karashaita stops, passes over to Hottinger. Hottinger hangs in the air. And back-to-back baskets for Hottinger. East too strong. Hottinger with the rebound. and draws the foul. So that'll be the 4th on Oaklands, and Franny Hottinger, 3 straight possessions, 3 straight results.
Yeah, I mean, that's what she does. She just provides the results.
That might be a middle name. Franny Results Hottinger. So Beth Sarson checks back in for Oaklands. And Bo Guttormsdottir Frost into the game for the first time for the Wolves. So Manchester possession. Pittonen out to Anderson, 3's up, won't go. And the Wolves with numbers here as Beckford Norton drives the baseline. Pass is too strong and will go out of bounds. The speed with which Shanice Beckford Norton in particular plays, but also the Wolves are a very fast-paced team.
So really are. Their ball movement is so fast.
As Karashaita sinks it! And Emma Karashaita gives Manchester a 2-point lead here in the first quarter. Beckford Norton will set things up. Brookshire against Hottinger. Oh, a nice finish there from Devon Brookshire. Gets herself on the scoreboard.
Got excited then. Thought I was getting involved.
I think that's next to some of our floor mics. We might have got quite a good bounce on the YouTube stream there. So Anderson. Ball's into Bracker. Oh, what a pass to Anderson. Too strong, but ball's tipped. Pittonen saves it in. As Fairley will reset for Manchester. Fairley round to Pittonen, catch and shoot. Not that time. We're tied at 16 all here in the first quarter. Beckford Norton kicks it out to the corner. And Bracker takes the rebound. Pittonen hands off to Anderson. Has Sarson on her. Bracker. And Bracker draws the whistle. I love the connection between Georgia Anderson and Maya Bracker.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
It's
that level of experience, and I don't want to use the word veteran because I know it's, you know, but it is, you can see where their level of their kind of knowledge is at and the way that they move and pass to each other.
That's just muscle memory and
Yeah,
skill as well. Having played for as many years,
Yeah.
and they have Georgia Anderson in her 11th season. You know where your teammates want the ball and are going to be. As Bracker hits the first. Bracker, having represented Estonia in the Eurobasket 2027 qualifiers in the last window in November, gets the second as well. So puts Manchester up by 2. De Silva hands off to Guttormsdottir Frost. De Silva, Sarson, 8 seconds on the clock. Sarson with 4 seconds against Fairley, 3 seconds. McRae puts it up. And a good defensive possession there from Manchester.
Yeah, really good. You know, they were solid denying the pass, making sure that, you know, they blocked off all the driving lanes and forced Oakland to put up a bad shot.
Fairley, round to Karashaita. Hands off to Abodo. Karashaita passes deflected, but Fairley picks it up, puts it in underneath the basket. And Nicolette Fairley with a chance for a 3-point play here at the foul line.
I didn't think we didn't think that was going to get there, did we?
It just looked really tough. It
really
looked like
did.
a really difficult angle. But Nicolette Fairley, also in her 11th season, gets the bounce. And a 3-point play puts Manchester up by 5 here. De Silva over to Sarson. That's too much space for Beth Sarson. Shot doesn't go, but Manchester getting a bit lucky there.
Yeah. I mean, when you've got Bracker under the basket, you're just waiting for her to pick off that rebound.
As Fairley out to Peternin, and a travel called against Manchester, so it will be Oakland's possession.
5 seconds remaining in this first quarter. As Manchester with a call on defense.
Over a minute to play here in the first. Sarson. De Silva over to Lavinia De Silva, out to the corner. Guttorm's Dottie Frost off the rim, and ball will go Manchester's way. This matchup inside between Lavinia De Silva and Maya Bracker is going to be fun.
You just took the words out of my mouth. I think we just saw them both boxing out there, fighting for that rebound, and was like, yep, game on.
So a 5-point Manchester lead. Fairley pulls up. Not that time, but chases down her own rebound and hands off to Bracker.
She should have got up then.
Nicolette Fairley is such an effective rebounding guard, isn't she?
Yeah.
For someone that's generally one of the smaller players on the court, she's...
Oh, yeah, you can't rule her out under the basket. She'll go after everything.
Sarson takes it all away, no good. 6 seconds of Abodo racing down the court. Abodo will take it all the way to the basket. Rolls off the rim though. That's a good take for Abodo.
I need to sit down and count.
So at the end of the first quarter, after a fast-paced first quarter,
Yeah, I think we need rest.
I think we do. A 21-16 lead for Manchester basketball. And both teams having spread the scoring a little bit here. So Manchester being led by Maya Bracker, who has 7 points and 4 rebounds. And Irene Abodo with 4 points and 2 rebounds. And for the Oaklands Wolves, Lavinia De Silva, 7 points, 3 rebounds. Shanice Beckford-Norton, doing Shanice Beckford-Norton things, 6 points, 3 assists and a rebound. And for Manchester, 8 points in the paint to Oakland's 2.
Yeah, I think what you can see from Oakland's right now is their ball movement. They're looking for those outside shots and they're looking for driving the lanes. I think maybe they've heard you and they know that left hand lane's wide open. But yeah, if you watch the way they're moving their ball, it's like it's pinpoint precision, and they've always got somebody at an angle ready to receive the pass. So I think for them, they're looking for those outside shots. But Manchester, you know, they're struggling. I think they've been struggling a little bit with their outside shooting now for a while. So they are looking to hit the paint more, and it's working for them today. So I think that's something that they just need to keep building on.
And what's interesting that you mentioned that, Anna, so during the trophy stages, Manchester were actually second in the league in made three-pointers, but during the championship, they're second from last in made threes. So it is just kind of a case of swings. It can swing like that, can't it? Sometimes it just starts you start to connect and it goes in. So that's not something that I imagine will last.
No, absolutely. You know, and again, it's just one of those things. It's all about repetition and making sure that you're kind of hitting those shots. So yeah, I think, like you said, though, that has been a fast quarter.
It certainly has. And for the Wolves, obviously we've seen them look to that outside shot. You can see Beckford-Norton, she's driving inside, she draws that defense and then kicks the ball out. So that's why the Oaklands are getting those looks like.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the passes that Shanice Beckford-Norton are making, I mean, I think a couple of them have been a little bit off, but you can see where she's intending for them to go. And, yeah, like if they hit, they're just going to be immense.
And again, that's the experience, isn't it? Shanice Beckford-Norton has played for so many years and played with so many different teammates as well. It really makes an impact wherever she is. So, second quarter underway. Peternin out to East. Three's up. Grazes the rim. But Manchester doing a good job here on the offensive boards, Hannah. They've been really chasing down every rebound, like I know they should, as teams, every team should. But they've done a really good job. 6 offensive rebounds to Oakland's 1. So first foul called on Teresa De Silva and the Wolves this quarter. As East Hands off to Obodo. Obodo runs into traffic, ball's knocked away. That was great defense there from De Silva. And Beckford Norton scoops it in. I think she can dunk. I think she can touch the rim.
Yeah, I'm looking at that, and I don't think you're wrong.
I bet she's done it in a practice.
Yeah.
She's so bouncy. So a 3-point game. See Hannah Shaw into the game for the first time for Manchester as second team foul on Oaklands. So Manchester ball here from the sideline. East will take it. Pearson in. Pearson in. And Obodo saves the ball. 4 seconds to Manchester. Long pass is intercepted, but East comes away with it. But De Silva and Beckford Norton there both getting in the passing lanes, deflecting the shot and making it difficult for Manchester.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, just reading those passing lanes and reading where those passes are going to go.
And it helps when you're Shanice Beckford Norton and you can jump 10 feet in the air to take it out of the air.
And do 5 long jumps to get there.
I once saw, and I'm so sorry, Dom, I once saw Shanice Beckford Norton nearly jump over Dominique Allen. A few years ago when she played for the London Lions. I'm not joking. She nearly jumped over her.
I love it.
Dom Allen is 6'4".
Yeah.
Anderson against De Silva. Anderson. De Silva is such a great defender as Pearson picks off the ball back to Anderson. East into Hottinger. Hottinger looking for a way, draws the whistle. But Teresa De Silva, she's everywhere. She's all over her player. And we'll see Lucilla Finau back on court. Guttormsdottir Frost heads to the bench.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, De Silva, she's just, like you said, all over it, and she's just on her feet, keeping herself moving, really anticipating where her players are going.
That's it. It's the footwork,
yeah.
And she's just moving.
As we tell the kids, you've got to keep your feet on your toes and not sit your feet down.
So Hottinger gets the first and the second. Hottinger up to 6 points here in the first half. Back to a 5-point lead for Manchester. De Silva against Shaw, hands off. Teresa De Silva, nothing but net from the outside. Doing it on offense and defense. As the lead's down to 2 for Manchester. East round the outside. Shaw. Back to East, 4 seconds, drops it inside, and again, Teresa De Silva just knocking the ball out of bounds. So Manchester ball from the end line, which we have a substitution. Anissa Pounds out onto court for Oaklands. Pearson catch and shoot, in the corner, in and out, but Hottinger is there to clean up the glass and put the ball back in the basket. De Silva steps through to the basket, and Shaw will draw the foul. So Oaklands will go to the foul line here. And Lavinia De Silva at the line for the Wolves. 7 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists for De Silva. Doesn't get the first. De Silva represented Portugal at Eurobasket 2025. Portugal qualifying for their first ever Eurobasket competition, a huge achievement for them, as De Silva will get the second. Just over 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Pearson in. East going baseline. East, a tough move to the basket, gets rewarded with 2 at the line.
A driving baseline like that is a tough move. I mean, you've really got to get your angles right, and then to take the contact like that was just fantastic.
And that's just what we said pre-game, isn't it? So Tiara East, she's been really good at taking that contact, drawing 4.6 fouls a game, gets herself to the free throw line. And a player that's playing in her first season out of Temple University in Philadelphia, where she spent 4 years. First free throw short. Second's good though. So a 4-point lead for Manchester. Beckford Norton. Ooh.
I mean, she was getting to the basket either way, wasn't she?
She certainly was. She flies. I think she flies as well. She dunks and she flies, and she does the high jump higher than anyone's ever done the high jump. And now she's got 2 free throws.
Yeah.
Beckford Norton also has a Commonwealth Games silver medal, representing England in Birmingham in 2022. She's the coach of the head coach of the Wolves WEABL team as well. So she's just a really inspirational figure and does so much for women's and girls basketball in the area.
Yeah, she does. You know, I think she's involved with the academy program as well. I know she definitely was last season, and she, you know, like that, just helping to inspire the younger generations as well, and making sure that those, you know, the young girls that are coming up, that they know what's ahead of them and what's available to them. So yeah, it's fantastic.
And when you see someone from like the local area, or where she's, you know, someone that's been representing GB, and as a younger player, do you think, well, yeah, I can do that now.
Oh, absolutely.
I need to do that. I can do that.
Absolutely. You know, Georgia Anderson was my senior player back in my club, so watching her growing up was just fantastic.
As Anderson needs some help to get it over the line, she'll do it herself. And going to go hand off to Bracker as Kara Scheiter out to Anderson. Bracker calling for it under the basket, and it's taken away by Finau.
I did think that was going to be an alley-oop then.
De Silva round to Beckford Norton. Beckford Norton floats it up and floats it in. And we are tied at 26 all. East to Pearson in. Bracker against De Silva. Bracker. Oh, a tough move from Maya Bracker. An and one opportunity here as Bracker will go to the free throw line. That's that matchup we wanted.
It is. It really is. She just goes with such force and power when she goes to the basket. She really, you know, takes the defender on.
And Bracker, a really strong offensive rebounder as well for Manchester. She's...
I mean, the highlight of my career was when I checked her one game many years ago.
I once scored on Rahana Khalil, and it makes me really happy that I did that, and then switched so I didn't have to defend her.
Yeah, and I don't think Rahana's probably happy about that either.
No. As Bracker gets the three-point play.
Yeah, we all peaked too soon, didn't we?
So Manchester up by 3 here, 29-26 in the first half. Beckford Norton. Pounds. Brookshire into De Silva. Beckford Norton. Finau. 4 seconds into the corner. Brookshire, 2 seconds. Oaklands are going to have to put something up here, and gets it to go at the buzzer. Devon Brookshire. Manchester looking to respond. Anderson swings it around to East. Pearson in. Pearson in with the long two. spins out.
There's been a lot of those today, hasn't there? They all need to hold the follow-throughs.
The silver against Pirtinen, and a jump ball is called. Stays with the Wolves. And we'll see Hottinger check back into the game as Karashaita heads to the bench. Eva Karashaita a +7 in the game. Manchester are leading by 1. That's the impact that Karashaita has on the floor.
She's a very stable player, as you see. She's not always a showtime player. You know, she will hit those big threes when needed, but she's just such a stable force on the team that you're confident when she's on court.
That's a great description. As Brookshire goes to the basket, it's too strong, but Shanice Beckford now playing volleyball as well as basketball. And East has the ball knocked out of bounds. But Oaklands are doing such a good job to recover. Every time Manchester have the ball, if they're on a fast break, there's someone there to knock it out of bounds.
They are. They're reading everything.
Pirtinen connects. And a big shot there for Pirtinen. De Silva out to the corner. Beckford Norton, time and space. Off the rim, and Bracker takes it.
Oh, I thought she was going for that one then.
East stepping through to the basket, too strong. As Pounds takes the rebound, and Finau will set things up here. Pirtinen comes up with a steal. Hottinger runs into the double team, and foul is called, so Manchester go to the line. Oaklands are in the bonus. Oh, no, it was just, was it just knocked out of bounds? No, it was a foul.
No, it was a foul,
it was a foul. So it will be 2 shots to come here.
Don't question yourself, Kaz.
Scoreboard was late updated. So a substitution is Danny McRae back into the game. And Beth Sarson for the Wolves. So Hottinger here at the free throw line. Hottinger 9th in the Super League this season in free throw percentage with 82. Played in Germany last season, where she had a 31-point game against Hanover, shooting 12 of 15 from the field. She's just kept up that efficiency this season.
Yes,
takes herself up to 10 points personal. Biggest lead of the game so far for Manchester at 6. McRae hangs in the air, doesn't get it to go. It's picked up by Fairley. Fairley looking for a screen, looking for some help. Finds Bracker. Bracker has the mismatch here against Sarson. Bracker spins, takes it to the basket. And Bracker up to 12. Finau against Fairley. Ball's loose. Hottinger finds Fairley. And Fairley will pull up the short jumper. And Nicolette Fairley puts Manchester up by 10 here in the first half. 38-28. Manchester lead over Oaklands. And Manchester have been led by 12 points from Maya Bracker, along with 5 rebounds. Franny Hottinger adding in 10 points and 3 rebounds and 3 assists so far. And for the Oaklands Wolves, Shanice Beckford-Norton, 12 points and 3 assists. Lavinia De Silva with 8 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists. So it's been a 15-12 run for Manchester so far this quarter. They've really turned it on in the last few minutes.
They really have. And again, you know, they're just kind of going back to what they're used to. They're playing that really tough, intense defense that's allowing them to get some transition points, and then they're really moving the ball well as well, and they're getting some great drives. I mean, for them, they're just spot on. Yeah, and I think they just got to build on this now going into the next half.
And we mentioned Manchester coming off that disappointing overtime loss to London, and sometimes when you've had a loss like that, obviously we've said you do want to bounce back, but the intensity that they seem like they're playing with, that can kind of fuel you, can't it?
It really can. But I mean, you know, again with Manchester, they show a little bit of inconsistency in the third quarter as well. So I think for them, they really need to make sure that they're building on this and they're creating that momentum so that when they come back into the second half, they're ready to go and they can continue forward.
And it's a consistent 40 minutes.
Exactly.
And for Oaklands, what do you want to see them maybe switch up a little bit here with this 10-point deficit?
I mean, for them, they just got to get back to that ball movement. You know, they were looking for some great shots in the first quarter, and they were making sure that everybody kind of was getting a touch of the ball, and we were getting those right shots in. So I think they've just got to build on that again and really kind of push that forward.
So back underway as Fairley knocks the ball away. Beckford Norton will get it over the halfway line, but Nicolette Fairley making a stance on defense as the ball is knocked out of bounds.
Again, that's another matchup.
Two speedy guards.
Yeah.
As Brookshire inside. A travel is called, so Manchester will have it back.
Manchester basketball have side position as we go on. Let's go, Manny, let's go.
So Manchester possession, up 10 here in the first half. Anderson, Bracker, Pottinger under the basket, reverse doesn't go. And Beckford Norton off and racing down the court, lays it in for two. She's up to 14 and leading all scorers. Pearson in a deep three, connects from outside. And that's what Pearson in. So Pearson came in just after the trophy group stages. She's been a real addition for Manchester.
She absolutely has, and she's able to kind of really keep her composure and make those big time shots.
Brookshire against Bracker. McRae, 5 seconds on the clock. McRae fading away. And Fairley comes up with the ball. So a foul on Finau for Oaklands, and that's going to be her third. So Nicolette Fairley here at the foul line for Manchester.
Nicolette Fairley will head to the line to shoot two.
As she gets the first. Fairley returning for Manchester this season, having previously played for Durham, played for Team Northumbria. Also represented GB and has a Commonwealth Games silver medal from 2018. So this Manchester team, we talk about the experience as well. Players like Georgia Anderson, Hannah Shaw, Maya Bracker and Nicolette Fairley. Just what a group from some of these younger players to learn from.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's just a wealth of experience that they've got and a wealth of knowledge.
Sarson against Fairley. De Silva going all the way to the hoop. And Peartonin is keeping hold of that ball. As Bracker finds Fairley. And an offensive foul. It's going to be an off-the-ball foul. Was that called on Bracker? I just had someone standing in my way. Yes, that's on Bracker's. That's Bracker's second. So a 13-point lead for Manchester here as Oaklands look to cut into this. Lavinia De Silva over to Beckford Norton. Beckford Norton won't go, ball's tipped. What a save there by McRae. And Peartonin comes away with the steal. Over to Fairley and fouls on the floor. Peartonin picking up her 4th steal of the game so far. She has such a great read of where the ball's going to go.
Yeah, she really does. She's just kind of getting a hand in the way and really kind of analysing with that passing lane.
So Beckford Norton picks up her second foul. Bracker goes to the bench and Eva Karashaita comes in for Manchester. And East hits the first. One more to come here for East as it pops out. McRae. Beckford Norton. Beckford Norton all the way, doesn't drop. And East will just settle things down here for Manchester. Final minute of the first half. Fairley into East, 6 seconds. East turns and fires. Not that time. To Silva. Into McRae, working against Karashaita. McRae hangs in the air. Shot bounces out. And Danny McRae has such fantastic hang time.
She really does.
She just makes a decision while she's in the air.
The Oaklands Wolves coaches. So if you're familiar with the game of basketball, the technical foul.
So a technical foul called here. So it will be a technical free throw to come here for Manchester, and Eva Karashaita will take it. And hits. So So a 15-point lead here for Manchester in the first half. As East's going to take it here from the end line. She's going to need someone to pick it up. It will be Nicolette Fairley. And it will be East with 14 seconds in the half. East, oh, ball's loose. Sarson has it. 8 seconds. Beckford Norton, round to McRae. Sarson, shots up and down. Beth Sarson with time running down here for the Oaklands Wolves. And at the end of the first half, it is a 45-32 lead for Manchester Basketball over the Oaklands Wolves. Manchester have been led by 12 points from Maya Bracker. Bracker also with 5 rebounds, and Franny Hottinger with 10 points, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. And so 45-33, Manchester Basketball lead over the Oaklands Wolves. Shanice Beckford Norton leading the way for Oaklands with 14 points and 3 assists. And 8 points from Lavinia De Silva along with 5 rebounds. So a really strong start there for Manchester Basketball in this first half. That's a very high-scoring, fast first half for them.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think they've really increased their defensive intensity this half. They've been flying to the basket. Sorry, their defensive intensity. I've just stood on something. I don't know what it is. They've been
your burrito.
Really going after everything. They've been getting their hands in the passing lane. They've been denying everything. They've been hustling as well. Maya Bracker has been an absolute wall under the basket. You know, she's been really stopping the paint, and I think, you know, you've got Brookshire who's been trying to get to basket, and Maya's just not letting her have it. So I think for them, they've been really good, and like that, then it's translated into offense for them. So I think, yeah, they've just got to keep that up.
And Vera Pearson, 4 steals in the first half. We know she's a really strong defender, but that's a great start from her as well.
It really is.
And for the Oaklands Wolves, Shanice Beckford Norton obviously leading the way, 14 points for the captain. you mentioned it before, that ball movement that they started out with early in the first quarter. Want to see them go back to that a little bit more?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they had some really good looks, and Shanice Beckford-Norton, she's been making some absolutely fantastic passes. So I think for them, it's just all about, you know, really kind of refocusing again and moving that ball, looking for those good shots, and making sure that they're, you know, they've got those laser point passes on check.
So we're going to take a quick break for half-time, and we'll be back with you in around 10 minutes' time. So keep it locked to the Super League Basketball W YouTube channel.
Super League Basketball is leveling up British hoops. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Welcome back into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester as we get ready for the second half between Manchester Basketball and the Oaklands Wolves. Manchester with a 45-33 lead as we head into the third quarter. And Hannah, we mentioned it just before the break, but Manchester being led by Maya Bracker, 12 points from her and 5 rebounds. And she's had a really impressive game so far. We said before, watch out for that battle between her and Lavinia De Silva inside.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been going at each other. They've been really forceful. And I think at the minute, Maya Bracken might be winning just in the paint. But, you know, De Silva, she's hitting those shots. She's getting those perimeter shots. So, yeah, it's going to be a battle in the second half.
And for the Wolves, Shanice Beckford-Norton leading the way with 14 points, leading all scorers, has 3 assists as well. And she's really... We said, you know, she is the captain of the team. She's experienced, she's the leader, but she is just showing it out on court.
She is. I mean, I think she's not only playing basketball here, she's playing a variety of different games.
She certainly is as well. And a big shout out to Mikey Hansen-Morris, who tells me reliably Shanice Beckford-Norton does in fact play volleyball, which explains a lot.
It does. It does.
And her dad is chair of the London Volleyball Association. So thanks, Mikey. And this is why Shanice is just doing everything.
She is.
So Bracker threes up and doesn't drop. Ball's tipped. Pearson in with a short jumper. And a good start there for Manchester.
Really good start. Again, just kind of making sure that we're going after those offensive rebounds and going after those second chance points.
Two drop as we're back on defense.
So Oakland's with some work to do here in the second half. Sarson into Brookshire. Brookshire against Bracker. Leaves it short. Bracker picks up the rebound. East going to go all the way to the basket. Blocked by De Silva. There's Beckford-Norton. Brookshire against Bracker on the baseline. Out to Beckford-Norton. And De Silva, too strong. Ball's tipped. McRae has it. And shots not dropping here for the Wolves. Pearson in. Ball's knocked out of bounds, going to stay Manchester possession. So Pearson in from the sideline. Aboado. Hottinger goes to the basket, draws the foul. And that's tough for McRae there. She was aiming to stand in the way, but
it was a good stance. But again, I think that's Hottinger reading that contact and making it look, you know, selling the foul.
And Hottinger drawing 4.8 fouls a game, and she's been making 4.6 free throws. Has had 3 double-doubles so far this season. As she hits the first, she's up to 11 points personal. And 2 of 2 from the line for Hottinger. And the biggest lead of the game so far for Manchester at 16. Beckford-Norton. Brookshire out to De Silva. Off the rim. Ball's going to stay with the Wolves. Did you see how high Irina Bodo jumped there?
Yeah.
She thinks she should expect Beckford-Norton.
I think she'd tell you she's Irina Bodo.
She is Irina Bodo, yes. De Silva. Round to McRae. Sarson against the Boado. 5 seconds. De Silva. Oh, what a pass. Good ball movement here from the Wolves. And McRae finishes with a 3. And that's exactly what you want to see from the Wolves.
Exactly, yeah. That movement, those zippy passes, and taking those really, really composed shots.
East looking for Bracker under the basket. We're seeing some fantastic passes out on the court today.
I mean, I think Oaklands are setting up in quite a high zone there, and I think Manchester were really able to exploit the gaps with those passes.
Brookshire to Sarson. To Silva, back to Brookshire with the short jumper. It's off the back of the rim. Creighton with a 5th rebound today. Pottinger stops, puts it up. That's short. As Brookshire has McRae. Brookshire goes inside, and ball stays with the Wolves. Will take some time off the clock, but again, that's Bratka's defense is making a stand.
Yeah, being a wall.
So Anderson coming into the game for Manchester.
As Manchester, we're still on defense.
6 seconds on the shot clock here. Sarson gets it into the Silva. 3 seconds for Beckford Norton. To the basket, Brookshire's there to clean up. Can't get it to go at the buzzer. And Manchester with a chance to extend the lead here. Anderson thought about it, kicks it out. Bratka picked up by McRae. De Silva. De Silva spins to the basket, gets the roll.
What a move.
She earned that.
Yeah, she really did. That was a fantastic baseline spin.
De Silva now into double figures.
I mean, she's there up there at the top marking the guard as well. She's just so mobile.
As East has space. Gonna drive, floats it in.
I think Oaklands might need to have a rethink about this zone. It's very high, which is great, but it's creating a lot of gaps, and Manchester are just able to exploit those gaps.
As Beckford Norton gets the whistle. And is that a case of Oakland's trying to go out to the shot, which is then leaving them vulnerable for the drive?
Yeah.
So Nicolette Fairley and Eva Karashite back out for Manchester, and Teresa De Silva comes out for the Wolves.
Teresa De Silva checks in for the Wolves.
So Beckford Norton at the foul line here. Leads the way in scoring for Oaklands. 14 points, shooting 50% from the field as the first free throw pops out. Led the team in assists per game last season with 4 in Oaklands, and was second in points per game with 12.4 as she goes 1 of 2 from the line. East. And ball goes out of bounds, stays with Manchester.
But again, that's De Silva just going after everything.
As we go, Manchester.
Anderson out to Fairley. Time
Again,
off the clock.
De Silva getting in the way.
She's everywhere.
Yeah.
Teresa De Silva was out in Iceland last year. Made the move over to Oaklands for this season.
East.
As East against Beckford Norton. And that'll be a foul against Beckford Norton. That's the second team foul on Oaklands. That'll be the third on Beckford Norton.
She picks up a third personal this game. Loses second off the quarter.
So end line ball for Manchester. Anderson into East. East has De Silva on her, using the screen from Karashite, and an offensive foul will be called against Manchester.
Offensive foul called.
So it'll be the first against Karashite.
Quick substitution. As for now,
And compared to the first 2 quarters, the scoring's slowing a little bit for Manchester here. It's been an 8-6 run. They put up 21 in the first quarter, 24 in the second. But you mentioned before, Hannah, maybe the thirds historically been where they've struggled a bit.
Yeah, it's usually there's a little bit of a dip in their run.
As Brookshire hits from outside, and it's an 11-point game. Sorry to cut you off there, Hannah.
No, absolutely. I think, like I said, there's always a little bit of a dip in their third quarters, but I think at the minute their defense is just keeping them in there.
As Anderson can't get it to go. East gets the rebound for Manchester. East hanging in the air, draws the foul. So Tiara East will go to the line. And that's the 4th foul she's drawn today, so pretty much on cue with her average at the moment. So we'll see Vera Pirtinen sub in for Manchester, but that foul that was just on the Oaklands Wolves, so that's going to be the 4th on Finau for Oaklands, and that's a bit of a difficult position, isn't it? 4 fouls just under halfway in the 3rd quarter.
I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? I keep giving my opinion on this, and then the coaches just keep going against everything I say, so I'm quite reluctant to say. But I think, to be honest, you sit her out for, maybe a few minutes of this quarter now, and then bring her back in the 4th quarter. But again, she's still on the court, so, that's why I'm sat here and not on the coach's bench.
So East goes 2 of 2 from the line. Leads back up to 13 for Manchester. De Silva. Brookshire. Lavinia De Silva into Brookshire, 7 seconds. Brookshire with the hook shot. Doesn't drop. And Eva Karashaita, Hannah, her defense, when she's having to match up inside under the paint, she's doing a really, really good job against Brookshire.
Yeah, she really is. She's being solid, she's being aggressive, and she's really taking the contact. Like I said, she's a stable player. You can rely on her.
De Silva setting things up. Sarsen. De Silva into Brookshire under the basket, doesn't go. Anderson pushing the pace. Pirtinen will slow things down. To Anderson. Back to Pirtinen. Karashaita picks up the loose ball. Good recovery there from Manchester with 1 second East. And a shot clock violation. So it will be Wolves' possession.
Manchester with the call on defense.
Oakland's looking to try and get this down to single digits before the end of the 3rd quarter. Brookshire to Finau. Finau with 5 seconds. De Silva from deep. And what a save there from Anderson. As East has Karashaita in the corner, shots up off the rim. And Teresa De Silva pushing the pace down the floor as Brookshire can't get it to go.
Again, this has been a really fast quarter, hasn't it?
It has.
Back and forth.
Anderson takes it to the basket, rolls off the rim. But another chance on offense as Hottinger draws the foul. And Hottinger will go back to the free throw line here.
I think maybe that left lane is just the blind spot in general.
For both, yeah.
For the whole court.
So Irina Bodo and Maya Bratka will come back into the game for Manchester, and Bo Gutton Frost will check in for the Wolves. So Hottinger has 2 here at the foul line. doesn't get the first. Hottinger having done 6 fouls today, and we did mention that before, that, you know, she can finish through the contact like Tiara East, but she's so efficient at it. As
they've
was
awarded another, yeah, they've awarded another one, a retake.
A retake. So Hottinger will get that to go. Was it a lane violation? So one more to come here for Hottinger, as she's up to 13 points. Make that 14. So good time for Dottie Frost, and Pounds and McRae out onto the floor for the Wolves. McRae against Hottinger. McRae fading away, leaves it short. Brookshire saves it. Pounds with 8 seconds, drives the basket. As that'll go against Manchester. And 2 free throws to come, as foul was on the shot. So Anissa Pounds at the foul line for the Wolves. First doesn't go. Pounds playing in Finland last season, where she played in Euro Cup, averaging 8.7 points per game. Has also represented Finland at the Eurobasket qualifiers, and goes 1 of 2 from the line, gets herself on the scoreboard. Aboado out to Anderson. Bracker with space, 3's up. Not that time. As De Silva, oh, hanging in the air.
That was against 3 defenders as well.
What a
that
move
one.
to get there. And Bracker in and out. De Silva controlling things here, as she finds the tongue for Tia Frost. Brookshire, and hits from behind the 3-point line. And it's an 11-point game. Oakland slowly chipping away into this lead. Final minute of the 3rd quarter. Hottinger inside to Bracker. Bracker spinning, gets her own rebound. And a travel call, as McRae able to force the turnover. So it will be Wolves' possession. They've got a chance to cut it to single digits here, which is exactly what they'll have wanted to do.
Absolutely, they'll have wanted to just chip away at it this 3rd quarter. Just, you know, keep, as you know, most coaches say, just keep it within 10 digits for the 4th quarter, and that's it. You've got your chance. So they'll have to, and that's all they've done as well, is chip at it and make sure that they kind of get those stops.
McRae, Brookshire under the basket, gets the whistle. So Devon Brookshire, a chance to cut into this further here at the foul line.
Manchester Wolves will pick up their 14th foul. Fanny Montague will pick up her 3rd person as they checks out the game. And checks back in. And Brookshire's at the line.
So Brookshire with a chance for 2 here. Played in Finland last season. She doesn't get the first to go. A very experienced player picked up by the Wolves, having spent a lot of time playing internationally in Australia, Spain, France, and has been leading the team in points per game so far this season with 14.
And you can see that European style of basketball in her play as well.
Peartonin swings it round to Anderson. Anderson finds space, 2's up, doesn't drop. 1 second difference between the shot and game clock here. It's a 10-point game. The Wolves can cut it down to single digits. 12 seconds. De Silva has it. 7 on the shot clock. De Silva against Anderson. De Silva takes it all the way. Bracker takes the rebound down and will launch from the halfway line. And oh, that was close. That wouldn't have surprised me.
No, do you know what? It wouldn't have done. It really wouldn't have done.
Just needed to be a little bit higher. So at the end of the third quarter, a 10-point lead for Manchester, 57 to 47 over Oaklands.
You know what time it is on the floor? Okay, Manchester fans.
Maya Bracker and Franny Hottinger leading the way with 14 points each. Bracker also adding in 7 rebounds and Hottinger with 5 assists. And for the Wolves, it's been Shanice Beckford-Norton with 15 points and 4 assists. And then Lavinia De Silva, 10 points. And Devon Brookshire off the bench with 11 points. And Brookshire sort of feels like she's got going a little bit more in the third quarter.
Yeah, she has. She's started to really step up, I think, aggressively as well on defense. You know, she's getting some stops into the basket against Maya Bracker, and you can see that. And then that's kind of pushed her forward, I think, as well offensively.
So 1 more quarter to come here.
Okay, now Manchester fans, Leon is going to do the half-court shot. So do we think he's going to make this?
As Manchester with a 10-point lead. So Manchester looking to get just their second win of the season if they can keep on top of this lead for Oaklands. And Oaklands currently at 3 wins. And, you know, obviously a win before the Christmas break. Have a bit of time off. It's a good note to finish the end of the year on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for their to come up after the London Lions game, I think this is what they needed. They need to kind of get that win under the belt in order to kind of give that positive step towards going into the new year and the new season.
So it was a 14-12 run for Oaklands that quarter. That's the first quarter that Oaklands have won this game. So for Manchester, how do you bounce back? Their lowest scoring quarter there of the game. What do you want to see them do a little bit differently?
I think for them, they need to, they're not getting as much in the paint anymore. I think they've settled for quite a few outside shots when really there's been quite a lot of movement under the basket where they've had those opportunities. So I think for them, they need to really focus on that and making sure that they're, you know, looking inside as well.
So 10 more minutes to go here, and it is Wolves' possession, a chance for them to get this down to single digits. And De Silva's shot is too strong. Ball's knocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with the Wolves. So Guttorm Zottier Frost will inbound here. Into Beckford-Norton. 7 seconds on the clock. McRae out to Beckford-Norton. 2 seconds. Beckford-Norton hangs in the air. What a basket there from Beckford-Norton. Count it and the foul. A big-time basket from a big-time player.
Absolutely. I mean, the arc on that shot was fantastic.
She just hung there for like 20 seconds. And that's the second foul on Aboado. So Beckford-Norton here. And it is now an 8-point game. And that is the mark that Coach Lee Ryan will have been looking at.
Exactly.
7-point game. Beckford-Norton up to 18 points. Peartonin. Over to Anderson. Back to Peartonin. Peartonin lines up a 3, and that's a much-needed shot there for Manchester.
It is, just to stabilise things a little bit and just kind of keep that run going.
As Beckford-Norton again to the basket. Shanice Beckford-Norton, another chance for an and one opportunity. Back-to-back plays here from Shanice Beckford-Norton.
When she gets going, she gets going.
I feel like she did this last season.
In the overtime.
In the overtime game.
Yeah.
That was, you know, 2 pretty different teams, but
yeah.
It was a very, very fun game. But that's exactly, and for anybody that's not seen Shanice Beckford-Norton play, this is incredibly typical of her. She's showing you what she does. She just turns it on. She's got another gear, and she says, well, my team need me to do this, and this is what I'm going to do.
Exactly. And when you were talking before at the beginning of the game about what it's like having to play like that on court, you know, having somebody that you know that can really push for it when it's needed, just gives you that little bit of confidence as well as yourself as a player and as a teammate.
Because you know there's someone there that can do that. So Beckford Norton now up to 21 points and makes it a 7-point game. Hottinger on the baseline. Bratker's there. And a good finish there from Bracker under the basket. Brookshire over to Beckford Norton. Beckford Norton. And I believe that's a foul called. So that'll be the third on Manchester this quarter. That's on East, that's her third. So Lavinia De Silva will come back into the game. Bo Guttormsdottir Frost to the bench for the Wolves. Wolves ball from the baseline. Brookshire to De Silva. Beckford Norton has it. Teresa De Silva, what a fake, stops, kicks it out to Beckford Norton. 1 second, has to put something up at the buzzer. It won't go that time. And Manchester back on the attack here. East looking to go inside. Ball's out of bounds. That's Beckford Norton on defense.
It was, yeah, and you know, Brookshire. Apologies, I started looking at the wrong sheet. Brookshire was just there, you know, as well as backup, and that helped defense, which is fantastic. So, you know, East was struggling there to get to basket.
As Anissa Pounds comes back into the game. So Beckford Norton controls things here for Oaklands against East. Round to Pounds. De Silva. 7 seconds. De Silva to Lavinia De Silva. Great ball movement here as Pounds can't get the three to go. Bracker takes her 10th rebound of the game. As technical foul is going to be called. That goes against Oaklands. As Hottinger took a tough fall there.
It was a tough clash, that.
So that's the third foul on Teresa De Silva. The technical foul is going to give Manchester one free throw here at the foul line. So Maya Bracker will take the technical free throw. Bracker with a double-double today, 16 points and 10 rebounds. As shot spins out. And we go back to where we were before the technical was called. So it will be Manchester ball from the sideline. It's a 9-point lead. East into Hottinger. And a step out of bounds for Manchester.
But again, you know, they're not looking inside. You had Bracker there following her on that clockwork court. And I think, you know, once they start looking for those inside passes again, Manchester will start getting some more points on the board here.
It's been a 6-5 run for Oaklands this quarter. McRae finds De Silva with a long two. Seven-point game. Peartonin finds Hottinger in the corner. Shot doesn't go, but Bracker's there for the rebound. Peartonin. No good, but another rebound for Bracker. As ball's taken away by De Silva. As McRae then gets it over the line, but De Silva there just all over the ball. And a foul against Manchester, so that's their fourth. But Teresa De Silva, so Has that come under our table?
It has. They just want us to play, Kaz. They want us to sub in.
I've got my new shoes on.
Very nice. So have I. But these aren't cork shoes. I'd break an ankle in these. I mean, I'd break my ankle anyway, so.
For Oakland's possession. De Silva, Pounds. 5 seconds. De Silva over to Lavinia De Silva. Three's up. Follows her own shot. That is exactly what you're taught to do.
It really is.
She could tell it wasn't quite the right angle.
I think what's keeping Manchester in the game right now is these rebounds. You know, they're going after everything. I think that's another moving screen from Manchester.
So that's going to give Oaklands the ball back.
I think they're struggling with this roll. When they're setting this ball screen, they're struggling to roll and not pick up the foul.
Right.
It is a very difficult thing to do. I've been called for it many a times myself, and it's about not making sure you're rolling whilst not planting your feet so that you can be on the move, but also not pushing your defender at the same time and getting the offensive foul, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And that's kind of what they're being caught with.
Ever got called for it in the first half, and then Hottinger just got called for it then.
So that's the 4th foul on Hottinger for Manchester. 6:13 to play in the 4th quarter. Beckford Norton. Pounds from deep. Oh, what a shot there from Anissa Pounds. And it's a 4-point game, just 2 possessions. Oaklands were down 16 earlier on, and a turnover there from Manchester as McRae finds De Silva. And a foul against Manchester, so Oaklands will be at the line, but they have come back from a 16-point deficit. Cuts the lead down to 4, as we see Georgia Anderson back into the game for Manchester. And when you are going against a team that's on a bit of a run like this, bringing someone off the bench like Georgia Anderson, very experienced, been in this situation before, does that just help calm things down a little bit?
Absolutely. You know, it just allows the team to settle, you know, just kind of, you've got somebody there that can really, you know, dictate what the next move is for the team. And you've got that confidence that they know what to do in these situations. So, yeah, absolutely.
And it's a 2-point game, just under 6 minutes to play. Manchester possession as Pearson needs some help. East is there. Bracker in the corner, nails it! And a big bucket from Bracker in the corner, leads back up to 5. Manchester needed that to sort of stop the flow from Oakland.
Yeah, they needed that. They needed to stop the run.
As Beckford Norton draws the foul. And that's going to be the 2nd against Anderson. As Hottinger heads to the bench and Karashaita comes in for Manchester. So 2 free throws to come here for Beckford Norton. And for Oaklands this quarter, a 13-8 run. Outscored Manchester in that 3rd quarter by 2. And have just continued that run here in the 4th quarter. So Beckford Norton now up to 22 points, leading all scorers. Make it 23. Pearson in. And Bracker finishes at the basket. She's up to 21, leads back to 5. Pounds. Beckford Norton. Beckford Norton going to the basket, kicks it out. Pounds is there. And McRae hanging in the air, gets the roll. And again, that ball movement, the very quick ball movement.
I mean, that pass, that baseline pass from Denise Beckford Norton was fantastic. How she saw through, she literally saw through 5 defenders to make that pass.
As Anderson, Pearson in, lines up a 3, not that time. And ball's in the corner, can't save it in. It goes back with Manchester. Bratka back to Pearsonin. And intercepted by McRae. Pounds can't hit that time, but McRae skies in for the rebound, and Oaklands are going to get another chance here. A chance to tie on this possession as Pounds with a deep three. Can't get it to go.
Let's go, money, let's go.
Both teams are playing like we're in the last minute of the game. It's very, very hectic, and I think both teams just need to settle a little bit and make sure that they're taking the right shots.
Still a lot of time left to go as East splashes in the long two, and a timeout called as teams want to talk it over. So Manchester with a 5-point lead here, 3:33 to play. How big has Maya Bratka been for Manchester today, Hannah? 21 points.
12 rebounds.
5 of them offensive, which is a real important figure to look at with those second chance points.
Absolutely, they've had 9 second chance points. So I think for her, she's just gone after everything. And again, she's going after those rebounds and she's holding it and just giving her team a chance to set up and get those get the offense going. You know, and I think for Oaklands, for them, they've now started to step up a little bit with the rebounding battle. They're still 11 rebounds behind, no, sorry, 9 rebounds. That's not my maths strong point. There's still 9 rebounds behind Manchester, which you can see. You know, Manchester are getting after the offensive ones and they're getting after the defensive ones, and they're being aggressive with it. Whereas now, I think the Oaklands have switched onto that and they've started to be more assertive when they're on court.
And let's just talk about Shanice Beckford-Norton some more. So 23 points for the Oaklands Wolves, shooting 53% from the field, 5 assists. Surprisingly, she hasn't come up with a steal on the stat sheet, but she's been the architect of those, of stopping the ball, or she's tipped it, or she's forced a reset.
Yeah, and I think that's the architect of their offense as well is a fantastic phrase to use, because the way she drives and they all just follow and kind of move in sync with her, and she's able to find them at any point around that perimeter is just spot on for Oaklands.
So teams back on the floor. It's a 5-point game. Oakland's brought it back to within 1 possession after having been down 16 earlier on, as an offensive foul under the basket, and Tiara East taking the contact for Manchester. That's a big stop there from East.
As a substitution for Wolves.
Beth Sarson back out on court for the Wolves. And Beth Sarson last season became the all-time leading scorer for the Oaklands Wolves in her 7th season there. She's playing in her 8th season for the Wolves this year, 9 overall. So Oboado will inbound here.
As Manchester, we go on. Let's go, money, let's go.
East in the corner, going baseline. Hottinger double teamed out to Oboado. Oboado threes up and in! Irene Oboado, let them know. Stretches out the lead. McRae looks to answer and does in the corner. Back to a 5-point game.
I've got a feeling this is what it's going to be like now for the last few minutes. Back to that.
Long pass over to Oboado. Can she go back to back? No, it doesn't drop. Teresa De Silva against East. And a foul against Manchester. Now here's the thing, Anna, so Manchester in the bonus, and they have been for the last couple of minutes, so every time Manchester foul here, it's going to put Oaklands at the free throw line.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, as well, a few of the personal fouls are starting to creep up for each of the individual players, which is, I mean, it's not too concerning right now, because as we've seen, we saw Hottinger and play a full half on 4 fouls at the beginning of the season, so we know they can stay disciplined, but I think for now it's going to be one of those things where they're just going to have to focus on it.
So first one doesn't go for De Silva. Second's good though. 4-point game, 2:31 to play. Manchester looking to bounce back from a loss against the London Lions in overtime last weekend. As Oboado splits the defense, goes to the basket, does a little somersault at the other end, and Irene Oboado coming up big here in the fourth quarter. That's a really tough finish at the basket for Oboado. De Silva, hands off to Teresa De Silva. Out to Beckford Norton, nets it, and Shanice Beckford Norton cuts it down to a single possession game, and Beckford Norton surpassing her season high so far, up to 26 points. As Anderson gets the ball into Hottinger, and Hottinger in off the glass. De Silva, 5-point Manchester lead. Bracker comes up with the steal, and Oboado will slow things down here. Bracker back to Oboado. Manchester can use the clock. Oboado will take it all the way to the rack, and Irene Oboado, 7 points here in the fourth quarter for the young player. And that's what Irene Oboado does, isn't it? We've seen her playing throughout the years. She's just 17 years old, but she is such a clutch player.
She really is, and you know, you can really count on her in those moments to find those gaps and just drive to the basket.
She's so quick, and
she really is.
She sees the gap, and she knows how she can take it. So two drives there to the basket for Oboado, and hitting that big three. That's really put Manchester in a good position here, up 7.
Yeah, they have, and I feel a little bit of a momentum shift here as well. But I think Oakland, you know, they're still in this.
Oh,
they've got to absolutely run for it now, and I think they've got to keep after those rebounds. Go back to you know, what they can do. They are limited in terms of their ball movement because of the clock. They don't want to. They need to have some quick shots here, so they're not going to be able to kind of, you know, take their time on their offenses. But again, you know, you've got Shanice Beckford Norton. Just get her the ball, drive to the basket.
So Beckford Norton leading all scorers with 26 points, and you've seen what she can do. She can shoot the three, she can get to the basket, and she can get the basket in seconds. It's not going to take a lot of time off the clock if you give her the ball. So as you said, 1:14, a lot of time to play. For Oaklands, you just don't want to take too much time off the clock.
No.
So Oaklands will inbound here. And do you want to maybe look, see if that three's there, and if not, get a quick look inside?
Yeah, definitely.
So here we go, ball's in, De Silva has it against Oboado. And Manchester will foul, so that's going to put Oaklands at the line, and that's the position that Manchester are in, isn't it?
Yeah.
So on those 5-team fouls, and that's going to be the 3rd on Bracker, so Oaklands here will go to the line. So Teresa De Silva with 4 points so far. 4 rebounds, but it just had a massive impact on the game off the ball. Playing in Iceland last season, and then spent some time in Romania as well last season. Second bounces in. It's a 6-point game, just 2 possessions. 60 seconds to play. Beckford Norton knocks the ball away. Manchester come back with it. East with 5 seconds. Oboado pulls up from deep. That's short, and it will go out of bounds. The shot clock running down there, but Shanice Beckford Norton showing how she plays volleyball.
Absolutely.
So a timeout called. 45.8 seconds, and that Beckford Norton deflection, whilst Manchester did come up with the ball, it really kind of sort of reshuffled them, made them had to kind of reset.
Yeah, they did. And I think, you know, it just then disrupted them a little bit, and they weren't able to get the shot off that they wanted to get off.
So a timeout called here. Just a 2-possession game. And for Oaklands, they've just kept coming back. It's been a 25-21 run for Oaklands this quarter. And they were down 16 earlier on and have really just kept, we said it before, but they've just kept cutting away.
Yeah, they have. They've just chipped away at every single run that Manchester have had. And they've been fantastic at it. You know, they've been aggressive. They've not took their foot off the pedal once. And I think for them now, they've just got to really get some quick scores in here.
So teams coming back out onto the court, and it will be Oakland's possession. 45.8 seconds in the fourth, 14 seconds on the clock here for the Wolves. So as we said before, the Wolves don't want to use too much time, don't want to take too much time off the clock. Beckford Norton back to De Silva. De Silva going baseline. Too strong. McRae's there, cleaning up the glass. Puts the ball back in the basket. And it's a 4-point game. Anderson needs to get it over the halfway line. Hands off to Aboado. And foul on the floor. So that's just the 4th against Oakland. So they had that one to give.
Yeah, they did. I think they might give another one here as well, just to give them some time to get a chance to get the ball back.
So Manchester will take it from the sideline. Anderson. Oh, it'll be Aboado into Anderson. That's a safe pair of hands to have the basketball in. As Aboado swings it over to Bratka. Bratka pressured, and the foul comes there. So Maya Bratka goes to the line here. 2 free throws for Manchester, just like you said, Han.
Mm-hmm. Some people would think we knew what we were talking about.
Maya Bratka shooting 75% from the line so far today. As she gets the first, makes it a 5-point game. And the second goes 2 of 2 from the line. Back to a 6-point game. Beckford Norton racing down the court, puts up a 3, it's off the rim. Ball's tipped, East has it. East looking to play keep away. Hottinger over to Anderson. Anderson gets it over the halfway line, and he's fouled by Sarson. So Georgia Anderson's going to go to the line here, and a chance here for Anderson to put this out of reach for the Wolves. That was a good look though for Beckford Norton, running down the court there.
Yeah, it was, and if there's anybody that's going to get that shot off, it'll be Shanice Beckford Norton.
So Georgia Anderson, the all-time leading scorer in the top flight league, as she hit that mark last time at home against the Leicester Riders, gets the first free throw. Just an incredible player, has had a fantastic career as she goes 2 of 2 from the line. It's an 8-point lead. De Silva pulls up from deep, won't go, and Manchester with an 82-74 win over the Oaklands Wolves, move to 2 wins and 4 losses in the standings. That's a really big win there for Manchester to end the year.
It is, and it's definitely what they needed to get this win under their belt. So I think they've done really well. You know, they were aggressive, they come back hard, they were going after everything. So yeah, I think it was a well-deserved win for them today.
And Maya Bratka tying her season high of 23 points and grabbing a new season high of 13 rebounds, had 5 offensive. She was huge today.
She was absolutely phenomenal. You know, she was so tough under the basket. You know, like you said, a proper defensive force. So yeah.
And again for Manchester, Franny Hottinger, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Vera Pearson adding in 11 points, 4 steals. And Irina Bodo coming up big in the fourth quarter. 11 points, 7 of them in that fourth quarter with 4 rebounds. Hitting a big 3, getting to the basket when she needed to. Really helped put a little bit of daylight there late on in the game.
Yeah, it definitely did. You know, she just kind of gave Manchester a chance to settle a little bit. And just kind of secured it for them. But yeah, again, she's just such a great young player, and I'm so excited to see where she's going.
And for the Oaklands Wolves leading the way, Shanice Beckford-Norton, 26 points, 5 assists. She was phenomenal.
She was, you know, I mean, some of those shots that she managed to get off were just out of this world. I'm a huge fan of hers, and I think, you know, again, you can tell her leadership role on this team, and, you know, it's unfortunate that they didn't get the win today, but, you know, they did fight hard as a team as well. It wasn't just kind of one individual player going after it. Every single one of them fought to the very end.
And for the Wolves as well, we should mention as well, missing 2 players out there as well. So Amy West, who has re-signed with the team this season, not available today, and neither is Tay McGee-Pleasant. So 2 big pieces that when they are back into the squad, that's going to make a big difference for the Wolves.
Absolutely.
It's also going to make them very dangerous.
Yeah, definitely.
So alongside Beckford-Norton, Lavinia Da Silva adding in 12 points, 6 rebounds and 3 assists. Danny McRae with 12 points, 8 rebounds and 5 assists. And just a big shout out to Teresa Da Silva for her defense. Just
really,
all over everyone. So Manchester go again in January on the 18th. They will be at home here at the National Basketball Performance Centre at 6:15, and they will be playing the Essex Rebels. And for Oaklands, they will take on the Newcastle Eagles, heading up to Newcastle on January the 3rd after the Christmas break. So some time there for teams to kind of rest, regroup, and then get ready to go again for the second half of the season.
Yeah, that's what Christmas is about.
So the final score from here in Manchester, the Manchester Basketball 82, the Oaklands Wolves 74. For myself, Kaz Bullock, and from Hannah Rolty, thanks for joining us. Have a very happy Christmas, and we'll see you next year.
Merry Christmas.